He was a billionaire's son who treated the world as his personal playground, until the day he was literally blown to pieces. Now, pieced back together with scrap metal and a household appliance encyclopedia for a brain, he is about to learn that being a hero is a lot messier than being a super jerk. This is the story of the $60 million man, or rather, the $6,000 man. Our story begins in sunny Hawaii, inside the lavish mansion of Lee Chak-sing, or Ah-sing, a spoiled heir to a vast fortune. His day starts not with a gentle sunrise, but with the frantic ringing of an alarm clock. He jolts awake, realizing he is late for his favorite activity, causing chaos. His first order of business is harassing the family cow, whom he tries to milk with theatrical flair, much to the exasperation of his loyal servant Tat. Holding the freshly squeezed milk, he proudly declares that, if he ever marries a wife as productive as this cow, he'll never go thirsty. The milk is for his father, a man he treats more like a subordinate, who is lounging in bed smoking a cigar. After his father predictably spits out the milk in disgust, Ah-sing casually orders the entire bed to be thrown out and replaced. His morning routine continues with a dramatic leap into the swimming pool, where a harem of bikini-clad women attends to his every need, from washing his hair to brushing his teeth. This is Ah-sing's world, a bubble of infinite wealth and zero consequences. When Tat informs him that his father is coming to visit, Ah-sing's only concern is how much money he can extort. He demands $1 million, then $2 million, all while feigning affection over the phone as he boards his private helicopter. Even in the air, his mischief doesn't stop. He offers Tat a chocolate-flavored ice cream, which Tat wisely refuses, knowing it is a laxative. Frustrated by Tat's newfound intelligence, Ah-sing devises another cruel prank. He tricks Tat into eating dollar bills laced with a fast-acting laxative, gloating that it is an instant, dissolving 5-second, effective formula. The prank culminates in Tat being launched into the sky on a rocket-propelled toilet, a spectacle Ah-sing watches with glee through binoculars. This is where he first crosses paths with Chung, a girl with glasses and braces, who calls him out on his dangerous behavior. He learns she is the niece of a professor at the school, and dismisses her with a barrage of insults, calling her ugly and questioning her conscience for daring to say he isn't handsome. Later, in a university classroom, we meet the professor, a man resembling Einstein, who is lecturing on the human body's incredible capacity for mimicry and adaptation. He explains concepts like spousal resemblance, suggesting it is a result of internal factors mimicking each other over time. Ah-sing, ever the disruptor, barges into the class with his entourage and mocks the professor's theory, asking why he hasn't turned into a woman despite being around them all the time. The professor, unfazed, continues his lecture, predicting a future where human bodies are largely replaced by artificial organs, controlled by a central computer brain. This artificial body, he claims, will have immense mimicry abilities, capable of transforming into any person or even any object. Ah-sing scoffs, wondering aloud if it could turn into a cigar. The professor confirms it is theoretically possible. Intrigued not by the science but by the chance to challenge authority, Ah-sing reveals he came specifically to see how cocky the professor, Chung's uncle, really is. The professor throws down a chilling gauntlet. If Ah-sing can watch him dissect a corpse for 3 minutes without flinching, they can discuss anything he wants. He unveils a body and, to the horror of the entire class, begins hacking at it with a cleaver, sending blood flying. Students faint and flee in terror. Even Ah-sing's tough guy friends are knocked out cold. But Ah-sing remains standing. The professor, impressed, calls him the only one who has ever lasted this long. It is then revealed that Ah-sing has cleverly stuck paper cutouts of eyeballs over his closed eyelids. The professor, amused, says he'll be truly impressed if Ah-sing dares to open his real eyes. He forces them open, and the gruesome sight sends Ah-sing into a screaming fit. Humiliated, Ah-sing tries to reassert his dominance by threatening to have his father, the school director, fire the professor. But the professor coolly informs him that he is a high-level scientific advisor for the US government, merely a guest lecturer here, and cannot be fired. The professor then delivers a stinging rebuke, calling Ah-sing the most despised brat in the entire school. He tells him that if his father weren't the director, he would have been beaten to death long ago. Goaded, Ah-sing foolishly stands up and shouts to the entire cafeteria, "So what if my dad isn't the director?" The result is immediate and brutal. The entire student body descends upon him in a furious mob, beating him senseless. That night, battered and bruised, Ah-sing vows revenge. He and Tat sneak into the professor's property, which turns out to be a massive underground laboratory. They set up a series of clumsy traps, including a bear trap and banana peels on the stairs. But the lab is far spookier than they imagined. Tat swears he sees a disembodied hand, while Ah-sing is terrified by a pair of floating eyes staring at him from the darkness. Their prank goes awry when Tat gets his butt poked by a mysterious object, and they end up calling the police, claiming the lab is haunted. The police arrive, but find no evidence of the creepy crawlies. The professor dismisses it all as his students' overactive imagination. Singh, however, doubles down, accusing the professor of being a psychopathic murderer who dismembers his victims for cruel experiments. The professor, with a smirk, challenges him to find the evidence. As the police leave, the disembodied hand and snail-like eyes reappear, taunting them from the shadows. Now genuinely terrified, Singh hires a group of blind men from a local academy to act as his bodyguards, the only people willing to take the job. His paranoia reaches a fever pitch when he mistakes his own father for an intruder and clubs him over the head. Just as he is dealing with the family chaos, a beautiful woman named Bonnie appears at his door. She claims her bathtub is broken and asks to use his pool. Singh, ever the womanizer, eagerly agrees. What he doesn't know is that Bonnie is the girlfriend of a ruthless Japanese Yakuza boss, Fujita. Bonnie leads him to a nightclub where they drink and dance. She challenges him to a dance competition, promising to spend the night with him if he wins. Singh, blinded by arrogance, accepts. Suddenly, Fujita and his army of black-suited gangsters arrive. Singh learns that Fujita's organization is not the local political party, but the infamous Yamaguchi Gumi. Later, in the car, Singh collapses, foaming at the mouth. Bonnie had drugged him. She frantically calls the professor for help, who instructs her to perform an emergency cardiac injection. In a moment of panic and incompetence, she stabs the needle into his chest, and the force sends them both flying. Singh awakens just in time to see Fujita's men storming his house. They have captured his father and Tat. A massive fight breaks out. While Singh hides, his father, who had been hiding his own past as a tough guy, tries to protect him. During the chaos, a shocking truth is revealed. The man Singh called father is not his biological dad. His real father is Tat's uncle, the family butler. The rich father offers Singh a $2 million check to acknowledge him, while his real poor father can only offer his love. In a moment of pure greed, Singh snatches the check and kicks his biological father out into the stormy night, calling him a disgrace. His act of betrayal doesn't save him. Fujita's men have planted a bomb in the house. As the timer counts down, Singh and his father are trapped, chained to a toilet. With only seconds left, his father makes the ultimate sacrifice. He tells Singh he has never been a good father and uses a spring-loaded toilet to launch himself out of the blast radius, leaving Singh to face the explosion alone. The mansion erupts in a massive fireball. Singh is caught in the center of the blast. Chung wakes from a nightmare, having dreamt of the entire horrific event. A phone call confirms her worst fears. It wasn't a dream. Singh has been blown to smithereens. At the hospital, the professor examines the grim remains. From a medical standpoint, Singh is dead, but to the professor, he is only half dead. All that is left of the once arrogant heir is a disembodied mouth and a brain, kept alive in a jar. The professor presents a choice. For $60 million, he can rebuild Singh using state-of-the-art artificial organs from the US government. The bad news: the price is non-negotiable. His rich, adoptive father, upon hearing Singh chose his poor biological father, hangs up, leaving him to his fate. His real father, heartbroken, can only scrape together $6,000. The professor sighs. Cheap has a cheap way of doing things, he says. And so, the budget reconstruction begins. The result is a comedic monstrosity. Singh is unveiled with a literal blockhead. When he complains, the professor simply reshapes it, but the problems continue. His arms are mismatched in length, one comically long, the other ridiculously short. After another cheap fix, his legs go haywire, uncontrollably dancing until the batteries run out. The professor warns him his new body must be kept dry and can only be powered by eating batteries. Worst of all, his urination function is a rusty water faucet, and his bowel movements are handled by the same device. The only hope is a powerful microchip the professor is still developing, which would unlock the body's full potential for transformation, but for now, it doesn't exist. 2 years later, Singh is living in a dilapidated shack with his real father. His life is a miserable loop of eating batteries and dealing with his malfunctioning body. A rainstorm causes his cheap parts to rust, and his urination faucet gets clogged, causing liquid to shoot out of his ears. Despondent, he's ready to end it all with a bottle of pesticide. Just then, an old acquaintance, a boy he used to bully, shows up. Surprisingly, the boy holds no grudge and has found Singh a job as a biology teacher at a notorious high school. This school is known as the teacher's graveyard, a place where the students are so violent that most teachers end up dead, disabled, or insane. Singh, a former bully himself, thinks he is prepared for anything. He is wrong. His first day is a gauntlet of sadistic pranks. He is drenched with water, ambushed with water guns, and nearly stampeded by a horde of students. He finally makes it to the classroom, only to be caught in a net, beaten, and utterly humiliated. The principal, a greedy man who only cares about profits, tells him to just think of himself as a dance hall girl, enduring abuse with a smile. He is chained to the school gate, a bleeding, pathetic display for everyone to see. It is here that he meets Chung again. She is no longer the awkward girl with braces, but a beautiful young woman. She offers help, but he proudly refuses. Having hit rock bottom, Singh decides to end his miserable existence by jumping off a building. But in a million twist of fate, the professor, driving by below, tosses the newly invented superchip into the air, and it flies directly into Singh's mouth as he falls. He is reborn. The chip activates his mimicry system, granting him the power to transform into anything he can think of. He has become a 72 trick Superman. His first test, he tries to transform into an electric cooker, and to his shock, he succeeds. The professor explains that he has uploaded the entire Mrs. Wang's home encyclopedia into Singh's brain. His transformation abilities are limited to household items. Singh's first attempt to impress his father results in him turning into a giant tube of black person toothpaste, simply because his father was brushing his teeth nearby. Just then, an FBI agent arrives. They need Singh to testify against the Yakuza boss, Fujita, but Singh is terrified. The professor, however, sees an opportunity. He learns that the principal's son is trying to woo Chung at a fancy mountaintop restaurant. He convinces Singh that if Chung knew he could provide a lifetime supply of free toothpaste for her braces, she'd be his in a heartbeat. Motivated, Singh, disguised in a ridiculous zebra striped suit, heads to the restaurant. He confronts Chung in the women's restroom. He tries to win her over, claiming he is a changed man, and reminding her of the single tear she shed at his funeral. She dismisses him, saying she cries even when she steps on a cockroach. To prove he is better than a cockroach, Singh transforms into a sentient, talking toilet right in front of her. His prank backfires when the principal's mother attempts to use him, and he is forced to eject her from the stall, causing a scene. Undeterred, Singh crashes the dinner party disguised as a magician named Wei Charlie. He performs a series of bizarre and humiliating tricks on the principal's son. He turns him into a floating head, then into a dog, and finally launches him out of the restaurant with a cannon, all to the delight of the other patrons. He escapes with Chung by transforming into a giant yellow smiley face umbrella, floating away into the night. Chung, finally won over by his absurd antics, agrees to consider dating him. The next day at school, Singh uses his powers to deal with the unruly students once and for all. He transforms into a giant spatula to deflect water attacks, a massive tube of toothpaste to trap them, and a toilet plunger to subdue them. He then forces them into a high-stakes history exam, where wrong answers result in comical punishments. Miraculously, his methods work, and the students' grades skyrocket. His success, however, leads to his downfall. The principal, angry that Singh stole his son's girlfriend, fires him. During the confrontation, Singh declares himself the Terminator 3 and uses his powers to terrorize the principal before leaving. But the real threat has been lurking. Fujita, the Yakuza boss, is out on bail. He is furious that his top assassin failed to kill Singh. It is revealed that the assassin was the professor's original failed experiment. Now, with a $60 million budget from Fujita, the professor has rebuilt him into a far superior cyborg. This new model is armed with a killing encyclopedia and a war encyclopedia, making him an unstoppable killing machine. The final showdown takes place at Singh and Chung's wedding. The enemy cyborg, a cold, calculating version of the professor, crashes the party. He is so advanced that he questions the professor on obscure details from his first lecture to confirm his identity. A chaotic battle ensues. The enemy cyborg is vastly more powerful, effortlessly deflecting Sing's attacks and mocking his cheap household item-based transformations. The professor warns Singh that this new cyborg's revenge system is active. The stronger his opponent, the more powerful he becomes, transforming into the most terrifying weapon in a supermarket. Singh scoffs. What? Is he going to turn into a pack of condoms? He is not prepared for what comes next. The cyborg transforms into a massive, terrifying can of insecticide. Then a powerful electric iron, easily overpowering Singh. In a moment of desperation, Singh transforms into a giant yellow mom figure, a nod to a popular cleaning product, but even this is useless. Thinking fast, Singh realizes his only chance is to outsmart his opponent. He transforms into a microwave oven, and tricks the enemy cyborg inside. He cranks the power to super high, melting the advanced cyborg into a puddle of molten metal. With the threat vanquished, everyone celebrates, but a new problem arises. The molten remains of the enemy cyborg have fused with Singh's body. Chung worriedly asks if he is still a man. He reassures her that everything is intact and they can still get married. In the final, absurd scene, Singh has transformed into an elderly woman, Granny Yang, a form he can't seem to change back from. The professor, ever the opportunist, cheekily asks Granny out on a date. And so, the boy who had everything lost it all, only to gain superpowers from a household encyclopedia and find love in the most bizarre way imaginable, proving that even a $6,000 man can save the day.